Hello. Hello, my name is Claudia Leandres, and I'll be presenting my dissertation proposal. The title is The Application of Telehealth Procedures to Evaluate the Effectiveness of BST on Staff Implementation of Functional Analysis in Brazil. Again, my name is Claudia Leandres. I'm a BCBA. I live in Michigan. I'm from Brazil, but I have been in US for more than 20 years. I am on my third year of my PhD program at the Chicago School. I'm also a clinical director and a founder of a ABA clinic. But most of all, I'm a mother of a child with autism. And he is the whole reason why I came to this field. Introduction of my dissertation proposal. In recent years, much has been written about topics of severe problem behavior and functional analysis. Unfortunately, 60% of the people with disabilities engage in some form of problem behavior. I'm sure you, in your own practice, have you witnessed children or individuals engaging in severe problem behavior, such as self-injurious behaviors, aggression, property destruction. Professionals that deal with this population must learn how to safely assess those problem behaviors and eventually develop eventually develop a function-based effective intervention. There is a very important study, a seminal study, written by Awada and colleagues in 1982 and 1994. This was a study conducted with 9 individuals, and the whole purpose of the study was to develop a way to assess relationships between problem behavior and environment. So all the individuals had a history of engaging in moderate to severe problem behavior. And the results of this study show that, yes, it is totally possible to identify those variables associated with problem behavior. And the key is, well, if we can identify those variables, then we can manipulate those variables too to reduce or eliminate problem behavior. So the findings of those studies show that it is possible to enrich the environment to produce good outcomes and reduce or even eliminate severe problem behavior. Functional analysis methodology. So functional analysis is definitely the standard assessment tool to assess problem behavior. So it is an experimental model to identify the variables that influence the occurrence of problem behavior. Over the years, functional analysis has been replicated, extended, and discussed in more than 2,000 articles and book chapters. Definitely a standard way, a standard tool for us to use to assess problem behavior. There are several benefits of using functional analysis. One of the benefits is definitely being able to identify those environmental events, those variables. Behavioral analysts can determine the behavioral maintenance function or purpose why the individual is engaging in problem behavior in the first place. Now, there are also some criticism about functional analysis. Some people say it's too time consuming, it's too complex. Oh, that requires a lot of training. A lot of people have not conducted functional analysis, even though they are BCBAs, they have not had the experience. Some people also say, oh, that's not a good to assess automatic reinforcement problem behavior. Some people also say cannot be used with dangerous behaviors because you are evoking problem behavior. And also, you cannot use functional analysis to assess low rate of problem behavior. So thinking about this, thinking about all these criticism, all about this problem, all the researchers developed procedural variations. So there are some modifications to functional analysis. There are a brief reassessment, very well-known behavior analyst called Greg Haley. Haley has published on brief FA, which is a faster way to conduct functional analysis. So that definitely cuts the time. There is another one, the trial-based FA. There is another one, latency-based FA. There is low-rate functional analysis. This one is another interesting way of you to conduct functional analysis. There is a wonderful article written by Tarbox that talks about the use of functional analysis to assess low problem behavior, low rate problem behavior. There is another one, which is the pre-courses functional analysis. There is another study conducted by Borrero, 2008, that explains how can we assess the pre-courses behaviors. So those are all different procedural variations that have been published over time to help with those criticisms. So problem statement, unfortunately, there is a huge need for behavior analysis services everywhere, not only here, but everywhere. And in Brazil, for example, waiting times for outpatient behavior services are taking 6 months or longer. And there are only 19 board certified behavior listed in the BACB certification list. So think about that, 19 BCBAs for the whole country. That's insane. Research data have demonstrated that successful results when teaching staff and parents to conduct functional analysis of problem behavior using telehealth when knowledgeable applied behavior analysts provide consultation. So the purpose of my study is really to extend research on functional analysis using behavior skills training to teach professionals from other countries in Brazil to conduct functional analysis to assess problem behavior. So my investigation will use a combination of telehealth procedures and in-person training, again using BST, to Portuguese-speaking communities and other underserved areas internationally. My main goal of my dissertation is teach professionals in Brazil to conduct functional analysis, and the training components of the BST are narrated presentation and written instruction, video modeling, and role play sessions with descriptive feedback. My research questions are, can participants in Brazil be trained using BST to successfully conduct functional analysis using a combination of telehealth and in-person training approach? Does functional analysis training result in gains in the staff ability to identify the function of problem behavior? Is functional analysis methodology socially and culturally acceptable in Brazil? The research design and method. The research design that I'm going to be using will be a non-concurrent multiple baseline design, which is very well used for when you have more than one participants, 3 or more individuals, demonstrate similar behavior excesses or deficits that require treatment. In this case, 3 or more participants that will be learning the skill. And then I will also assess generalization by conducting probes to check if skills are being maintained over time. Participants set independent variable and data collection. So participants are direct care staff members that have limited or no prior training or experience in implementing FAs. The study has 2 phases. The first phase is a training will be using telehealth, so remotely. The second phase, I will be traveling to Brazil to provide in-person training, so that's the BST. The dependent variable will be measured by the number of steps, correct steps on a task analysis. Results will be analyzed and graphed, and dissertation will be sent to publish. Do you have any questions? Thank you for watching this presentation.